Pretty much everyone knows by now that Hillary Clinton has a big problem attracting young voters, in particular, to her campaign, with good reason. With good reasons that we've gone into in a number of different videos. But it turns out, in a new poll, Donald Trump makes her look beloved by the nation's youths by comparison. A new Gen Forward poll found just 19% of young people have a favorable opinion of Trump. Just 19%! This is Trump, the reality star. I keep hearing young people can't get enough of reality TV, and despite all of that, and all the media, all the press, 19%. When you break it down amongst racial minorities, young racial minorities, it's even more pathetic. Just 6% of young African Americans, 10% of young Hispanics, 12% of young Asian Americans, and 27% of young whites see Trump in a favorable light. And young in this case, it doesn't mean 10 to 16, it means 18 to 30. That's getting towards not even that young. And overwhelmingly unpopular. Even amongst young whites, only about a quarter actually have any interest in him whatsoever, and there are a number of good reasons for that. One that was also revealed in this poll, I think probably has something to do with it. 2/3 of young voters believe he is racist. That includes nearly 6 in 10 whites and more than 3/4 of African Americans, Hispanics, and Asians. Which implies that there are some amongst that group that still like him even though they think that he is a racist. Which is interesting, the way the numbers work out in that particular way. Now, for comparison's sake, I want to give you the numbers, so apples to apples for Hillary Clinton in this same poll, because it's not really fair to compare Trump in this poll to Hillary in other polls. She has 39% of young people with a favorable opinion of her, 54% unfavorable. So those numbers are still shit, but it's twice as high as for Trump. And it's interesting to sort of speculate about why that might be. Now, I would like to imagine that it's based on the policies that he's put forward. And for many of these young voters, that's probably the case. But everybody says young people don't pay attention to the policies. And so maybe it's other things. Maybe it's the values that he's pushing for. Maybe it's the most high-profile positions like the border wall or the ban on Muslims. But I think it's a lot of things. It's those policies, but it's more. I think young people are less interested in an ostentatious glorification of wealth and luxury for its own sake, and an assumption that simply being rich makes you a better person, which, if you watch Fox News every day, is sort of just taken as a given. There's the racism, obviously, the high-profile racism from day one till today, the religious intolerance, the clear xenophobia. It's that mix of old-school Republican positions and values with an out-and-out racism and hatred for people unlike us that we haven't seen in this country in a very long time. It's all of that, and then it has the uniquely Trumpian characteristics of the bullying and the stupidity. And even his mastery of social media apparently seems to be doing him no justice, I guess, amongst young voters. And I just love that they have rejected all of those things. And so the purpose of this video is not just to recognize that young voters, the next generation of voters, by the way, who, while they might be more likely to be lib than older Americans, this is not just the young libs, this is all Americans. That next generation rejects Trump. That's not the purpose of this video. That's simply reflected in the facts. It's to say that in rejecting Trump, the next generation of voters deserves a hell of a lot more credit than they've been given till this point. And that's my final judgment.